There she goes.
And welcome back to the channel, everybody, for episode 2 of Iron Curtain Grades Your Shit. Today we are looking at the floating platform base, the tower platform base, whatever you want to call it, the monkey bars. There's a bunch of different names for this thing floating around. The basic concept is pretty simple, though. What you've got here is a tower with some iron bars up top that you can stand up on and shoot down. The Zed traffic is supposed to run into this ditch trying to get to you, find these ramps, come up here, stand on some fires until they get kicked over anyways, while you and your boys just sit up there shooting the crap out of them. Pretty straightforward, pretty easy. There's a lot of different versions of this thing floating around, so I took it and kind of hybridized out a middle ground. Some of them are a little more extreme than others, some of them are a little chintzier than others. I will say if you're looking at the version that just has a couple of iron bar legs supporting a bunch more iron bars, you're probably asking for trouble. So we went with one of the tougher variants here. Got a little bit more of the reinforced concrete, hopefully give it some durability against some of the exploding cops, the demolition guys. We'll see how it plays out. Now, as always, we have two different grades for our builds. They're based on the supplies needed to build it and the difficulty in putting it together. In terms of supplies needed, now as I mentioned, there's a bunch of different versions of this, but even with this one, kind of the on the upper end of that, it's not too bad. You know, this is reinforced concrete, but you can just do that with stone, and more stone, access to a cement mixer. Maybe you've got one of your own. Maybe you find one out in the world at one of the POIs. Not too difficult to run together. In terms of finding it on your own, that kind of runs into the same table saw argument I had last round. But in general, I don't think this one is too hard to smash up for supplies needed. So we're going to go with a solid A on supplies needed. This is not difficult. In terms of build difficulty, this may not be quite as easy as the last one, but there's still no real tricks, no real gimmicks here, nothing that you really have to pay super close attention to. It's a flat platform with two towers and a bunch of iron bars. It doesn't come a whole lot easier or more straightforward than that. You don't really need a spec'd out set of blueprints. The exact dimensions don't particularly matter. And in general, you can pretty much tweak this however you want. So in terms of build difficulty, I'm saying A. I have some decent expectations on this. I think it's going to perform. I think it's going to perform well. Hopefully it shakes out. Hopefully we've got a passing grade coming for you. I have high hopes for this build. All right, we are 5 minutes out from Horde Night, ready to test the platform tower base. Got the full crew here, +1. Swoop decided to join us for the evening. Hi, Swoop.
Hello.
And we'll see how this shenanigan of a base actually performs. And there we go. We're going to hang off shooting him here for a second. We want to see if this ditch ramp concept actually works. Let's see where these first couple of guys actually head to. Alright, coming up. They're running around.
Avoided the fire completely.
Going right for the wall.
Yeah, right for the wall. Alright, so the concept is not really holding up, so I think this is going to be a durability check. This should be interesting.
Oh god.
Jesus,
Did
thank
you
you.
fall in? Oh, you set yourself on fire. So they don't like the fire anymore. Let's, okay, somebody with rounds, let's try to blow these fires out. They don't like them. We need them to come here. The cop is standing on them. Let's get rid of these, though.
Friggin' birds.
Yeah, we don't really have much in the way of air defense.
Yeah, very few of the more common ideas seem to incorporate defense from the vultures, which is a little annoying.
Oh god.
Bye, Hells.
Oh, goodbye frames.
Health is down there.
So, I didn't
Oh,
break
nice
anything.
one.
Good news.
Do some repairs while you're down there.
I have bullets.
They're just going at that concrete like a fat kid at Chuck E. Cheese.
Hey, gotta get them tickets, man. There's a Sonic Hedgehog eraser I really want to get.
You gotta play for 2 years to get it, though. I'm okay with the distinct lack of demo guys so far.
Give it time.
Stop mentioning them.
If you say their name 3 times, then they appear.
Haster.
I am disappointed by this tracking failure, though, that's for sure. I mean, I guess it's not even really a failure in terms of the AI, because they're doing what they should intelligently do right now. But certainly not as advertised.
Calling zombies intelligent.
Well, it's better than what they theoretically were supposed to do and just stand under us and, angrily wave. Wow, they're actually kind of stacking up there.
Right?
Just gonna World War Z straight up to the platform here. Good lord. Save me, Tom Cruise! Oh wait, no, that was Brad Pitt, wasn't it? Damn it. So the support radius on this platform up here is 6 out from each tower. The middlemost 7th row is supported then by either side. If one of these towers goes down, theoretically we should be able to slide over to the other one. And for the record, none of the settings on this have been changed. We are still on warrior difficulty with 10 zeds per person. We are +1 person for this round, so we should see a slight uptick in traffic. But I'm actually fairly surprised that we haven't seen any demo guys this far in. It's just after midnight. I don't think we've seen a single one yet, have we?
Not yet.
I'm not complaining, but that could be bad news. Oh shit, I fell. That is a real problem.
Yeah.
Come on, hardcore
Needs to be
parkour.
some sort of
There
railing.
we go. I don't like the fact that if they're not in the middle, which clearly wasn't working, basically we have to shoot at our own support structure to get them off of it, so inevitably we are doing a pretty good chunk of damage to that thing as well. I'm getting some chug on this too. I think it's because it's rendering everything underneath us, so it's definitely a system problem, if nothing else. This base doesn't cut your graphics card and it breaks. It's interesting these cops are kind of playing by the rules. They're attracted to the center and sort of stand there, but no one else is.
Yeah, maybe because they can spit.
Maybe?
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
they have to
they're getting-
move to a better line of sight.
Like
Shit,
one block.
another one right on
before
top of that. He's gotta go. He's gotta go.
he's cracking away.
Two.
of 'em
Oh,
in
that's
the
gonna go
doorway.
down. That's gonna go down. Make sure you're on this side.
Bye. How that didn't fall over, I don't know.
It's called a full magazine M60. God, I'm so
I'm
sorry.
about to blow up somewhere.
Oh, that one.
That's not ideal. Oh, that won't support anymore. For reasons. Oh, that's bad news.
What's that?
These towers won't support the railings as they're built right now, which means that the tower integrity is fucked.
Critical.
Yeah.
Which means a stiff freeze will knock it over.
Yeah, nobody fart. Per usual, we grade on durability. Die, hoy. This is a tough one to grade on durability. I want to be fair. It is technically standing, but only via the power of prayer. Holy shit. One block
If
at
we-
3,600.
If we had gotten more demos on the front side, we would have been fucked.
Toast, yeah. It didn't fail, so I have a hard time saying F, but I think durability is a good solid D. This is reinforced concrete. What this does tell me is that if it were any lesser material, regular concrete, cobblestone, wood, this would have no chance of success. It has to be this reinforced concrete, otherwise it's probably going to come down. The iron bar variants and some of the other versions of this that are out there would definitely fail a standard Horde Knight. In terms of resources used, ammo and gas. Gas is obviously another pass. We had nothing powered up here, so it's pretty cheap in those terms. As for ammo, I brought out 7,800 rounds and I ended the night with 3,600 and change, which means about 4,000 rounds myself personally. X, what did you use?
I started with 5,000 and ended with about 1,500.
Okay. Swoop, what was your ammo consumption for the evening?
I think I started around 2,000 and I've got 400 left.
Ouch. Nev, how about you?
Started with around 6,500. I've got just over 700.
Davian, what'd you do?
I went through about 3,009 mil and about 1,762.
Okay. And last but not least, Hells, the murder machine himself. What'd you end up chewing through tonight?
I started the night with neighborhood 7,000 rounds. and ended with 2 grand.
That is a lot of ammo. So we're looking at another napkin math, another 20,000 round evening. So ammo, I think this also is an F. There's nothing about this base that defends itself or does any of the work for the people in it. Everything has to be killed manually, and that doesn't count all of the Molotovs and stuff that we were throwing over the course of the night. So in terms of ammo used, yeah, this one fails again. It's too hard on ammo for legitimate play. In terms of resources used for repair, yeah, this is not in good shape. We're not going to try to rebuild this, but with the amount of damage done to a lot of these concrete blocks, you're hedging really close to the actual construction cost to patch this many things up. So I don't think you can say that it's legitimately worth trying to patch together, and is definitely not efficient. The repair costs, I'm again going to go with a D. It's not great when you've got this much reinforced concrete taking this kind of damage. It really kind of defeats the purpose. Yes, it's still technically there, but only barely. In terms of safety, how did the base perform? We have the two criteria. Are the zeds controlled, and are the players in danger? Are the zeds controlled? They didn't behave the way they were supposed to, but they certainly weren't running completely willy-nilly. I think that in terms of controlling their traffic, the fact that they can get to these back sides and chew back here, and it's kind of tough to do anything from up there about it, that could be modified slightly to address. Now, this is another build where I don't think it's worth putting the time into trying to address things like that. In terms of being controlled, I'm going to say it's a C. It doesn't do too bad. They're not a complete logjam, but it could certainly be better.
They are funneled into the 2 biggest weaknesses of this
True
build,
enough.
though, which is the
Yeah.
support.
Which, it's that's kind of a catch-22 there, because you're funneling them into the support pillars and then having to shoot the support pillars to clean them off the support pillars. So we were undermining ourselves all night long, quite literally, in fact. In terms of are the players in danger?
I'd like to point to this little thing right here.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it didn't fail. So again, it's not a hard fail, but it's definitely a D minus. We were 3,600 durability away from this caving in, and when it goes, if that tower goes, well, you know what? Let's do it for science. Let's knock this pillar out and see what happens. I wish I brought my auger with me, but yeah, shoot the shit out of this pillar. Let's take it out and see where this goes.
There she goes.
So we would have lost half. So yeah, I'm gonna say D minus. We were 3,600 durability away from that happening while we were standing up there. That's terrifying. That would have been another mad sprint back to the base, probably with broken legs all around. In terms of the cheese factor, it didn't work. So it's tough to say that it's cheesy when the concept behind it doesn't work. What they were supposed to do was hit these ditches, come up these ramps, and stand here. They had no part in that. They pretty much instantly started chewing on these outer edges and chewing on the walls themselves. So in cheese, technically I think it's an A. It's not cheesy at all, but the concept, the idea behind it is still a little off. So I think we're gonna say craft singles. It's not actually cheese, but it's doing its best to pretend that it is. The chances of being patched out, none. I see nothing about this that would get patched out. So, final grade. It didn't fail. We didn't lose anybody, but I can't say that I think that this is a ringing idea. Even made out of reinforced concrete, it didn't stand up very well. If the zombie spawns for the Horde night had been a little bit differently, if we hadn't gotten 2/3 of the way through the evening before we saw our first demo man, I think the story would be very different. I'm going to say D minus. I can't recommend building this thing pretty much under any circumstances. If a reinforced concrete base is going to cave in, get this close to caving in, then I don't think it's a good idea for anybody playing legit. Any final closing remarks from anybody else?
Part of me wants to say that if it was an earlier night, say day 7, day 14, and you had 2 or 3 guys on top, it might not be the worst place to spend a Horde night.
Maybe
But-
not. My concern there is that day 7, day 14, in 100%, you're probably not going to have reinforced concrete.
No,
Right.
absolutely not. It took us about a month of in-game time before we even got there.
Yeah, I had to do a lot of mining to get enough stone to put this thing together legitimately, and Yeah, there's no way you would have it first week if you were playing a straight game.
The whole base is predicated on controlling their pathing, and that aspect didn't work.
True
Yeah.
enough.
And anything less than the reinforced concrete, I mean, we're shooting it ourselves, so it's just gonna blow up.
Very true, very true. All right, stay tuned for the next one. We've got a couple more ideas kicking in the works, and we will see if YouTube has yet to create what we could really consider a passing base. So far, we're 0 for 2, and hopefully we can change that. Thanks for watching, everybody. We will catch you later.